Alright, we're gonna end 2024 on a pretty chill note with a pretty chill video, but my subscriber count has been the opposite of chill because y'all have been going crazy with the subs, man, and I really do appreciate it. Quick reminder that yeah, every 1,000 subs from now till January 31st, I will add a Dazzler Pass to a February giveaway. And the 2 Dazzler Pass giveaway is happening tomorrow. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be like, you have to comment on my first video of 2025, and that's what like gets you entered into the giveaway, but you'll see it tomorrow, right? And I want to also take this time to just like thank y'all for a very great year on this YouTube channel, and like especially a great like last quarter of 2024. So yeah, thank you very much, and let's just keep the ball rolling in 2025. But now we have one of my favorite type of videos to make, and that is of course the Yapathons, where I can just talk about whatever I want for a very long time. But this one's a bit different because I get to talk about my favorite champions in this game all in one video, which is super exciting. But first we have the honorable mentions. Didn't quite make the top 10, but I still really like these characters, and we have one new addition, and that is Spiral. Now Spiral's a very new champion. She came out in like November, which is literally just last month, and she has really just like stolen my heart, man. She is such a fun champion to play. Her animations are absolutely top tier. She's so elegant, like her animations are just so elegant, and it does make sense because she is like a dancer. She's like a stunt woman, so like it just all really does add up well. And yeah, very fun to play. Animations, like I said, top tier. Just like so unique with the 6 arms and everything, and turns out she's actually very good as well. So I have her at rank 3, and spoiler for a future video, she is my 3rd SIG 200 7-star champion because I gave her all the SIGs. So yeah, very happy about that. Very awesome character. Now we have Longshot, who's a bit of an older mystic, but he is still very cool. Very fun to play. I love like his whole gimmick of just being super lucky, but I think the major thing about Longshot is he used to carry me back in the day in like Alliance War, especially. In Unstoppable Armor, I took like 11 out of 12 Nimrod bosses with Longshot, and yeah, I felt like an absolute beast at the time because like Longshot was just carrying me, man. He is such a good champion, and I think he's still very good to this day. So yeah, Longshot, I'll always appreciate him for sure. Same thing with Kraven the Hunter. Not the best champion in the world, I know that, but he's just one that I fell in love with like very quickly, and despite him being like not so good, I still tried to make the most out of him. And yeah, it was a fun time just like exploring this champion, getting some pretty crazy times in like Labyrinth, and I just love the character. I love that he is like a hunter type, and he also is just like very adamant about just finally hunting down Spider-Man, like it was in the motion comic as well. Very cool motion comic, one of the best ones that Kabam has ever made. So yeah, just a very awesome character in that regard. And he is a type of champion where like it's less about the actual gameplay and abilities and more about like the presentation of the character. And yeah, Kraven the Hunter is just insanely cool. And same thing with Adam Warlock. It's less about his gameplay and abilities, even though he's a very strong champion, and it's more about just like how cool the character is. Like Adam Warlock, just insanely cool character wise, just like has that presentation that's like, yeah, this guy is really powerful, and he will definitely mess you up if you try to mess with him. So like I like Adam for that reason, but then again, it's also just like his animations are beautiful. He also is just really fun to play. One of those characters where like it's pretty much just all in on damage output, and like if you mess up, you really pay the price, but if you get him going, it is like one of the craziest things in the game. So yeah, Adam Warlock, just really cool, really fun champion, and definitely worth an honorable mention if you ask me. But I got one more honorable mention. I have the entire XL category because these champions are my favorite type of champions. Of course, I do have some XL characters that have made it like into the top 10. You can probably guess who, but yeah, I just love these characters, right? Whether it's just because of how cute they are, so like Mcoc or Thing, or if it's like how cool they are, like Overseer and Sentinel, there's just so much variety with these like type of characters, and I just want to shout it out because it's just so awesome, and I hope that 2025 brings some like even cooler and even cuter XL characters. So yeah, here's to some XL love. And you know what, man, I lied. It's a top 11, and number 11 is Morbius, and this guy is like one of the perfect examples of like the dark type of characters, like Kindred, like Werewolf by Night, like, you know, Morbius himself. And you know, I really do enjoy Kindred. I could have put him in this spot instead, but I'm gonna give the nod to Morbius because I just enjoy playing Morbius a bit more as well. And while this is a favorite character thing, I am gonna factor in multiple things, such as like, you know, the cool factor, but also like how they are to play. And Morbius is one of the most fun champions to play with that psionic glide. It is so fun to just fire that off, and like versus Rintra, the infinite glide is just so much fun to do. So yeah, very fun champion to play. Vampire gets like plus 1,000 brownie points. Very cool for that reason. And yeah, one of my favorite like darker themed characters, but there is one on this list that has him beat, and it's a pretty obvious one. But now, kicking off the actual top 10 list, we have Medusa here, who is a champion that didn't make my original favorite champions vid, but I honestly have learned to appreciate this champion a whole lot more, and I have history with this character. She was my second ever 5-star champion, and I played the game so much because of her. She honestly was the reason I still played Mcoc at the time, and honestly without her I don't know if I would be playing this game. So yeah, she really did carry me back in like my beginner years, and I still do really appreciate this champion, and now that she's buffed, she is just so much more fun to play now. And yeah man, the queen is back. She is definitely back, and it was really fun reconnecting with like an old favorite of mine. Now number 9, we have Galen. Now Galen is a champion that I just really enjoy the like character lore of, like a Galactus that isn't as bad as like his, you know, normal self, but one that still is like super all powerful. And when he first came out in Mcoc, that like power level was definitely proven. He was one of the best champions in the game. He was just crushing everything with the harvest. And I've always just appreciated this champion's animations, his look, and just like his whole character arc as well. Everything about him is just like near perfection, like to the point where even though I love Quicksilver and he would be like a mention on this list, Galen just took the cake for me when they both first came out, and Quicksilver was the Summoner's Choice champion, but Galen, he just got my attention first because he's just a beautiful character. And yeah, I want to see more of him implemented into the game. What I mean by that is I want to see a 7-star Galen, because locking a champion this cool with like such a cool like character arc and like with like such beautiful animations, locking him behind a 6-star like level is just a crime if you ask me. You know, I understand locking some other characters like one that's on this list, but this guy, I think he should be set free very soon. Now we have one of the coolest characters in the game when it just comes to animations, when it comes to just like overall look, and when it comes to hype as well. Null is the king of the symbiotes. He is one of the most powerful Marvel like characters, not even just in the game but just in all of Marvel comics. So there was a lot of hype around this champion, and he absolutely delivered. But I like him for a different reason. I like him because he was one of the mainstays on my channel when I first started. One of my like first ever videos was about Null, and he was just doing crazy stuff for me. He did a full Labyrinth Path item list as a 5-star champion, which back then was honestly pretty impressive. He soloed every 7.3 boss. He was just doing great things, and he gave my channel a very nice like head start, and he was really like there for me the entire time. So I really do appreciate Null. I do like, you know, the character, of course. He's really fun to play. He's a very strong champion, but With this guy, it's a bit more than just that. It's a bit more like, you know, personal. It's just like, yo, this man, he kind of carried the start of my channel. But there is one champion that literally carried the very start of my channel, and he's right next to him. Alright, I want you to go to my channel. Hit subscribe if you want to be a part of that giveaway, right? But go to videos, sort by oldest, and the first ever video on my channel is an incursion showcase of this man right here, Hercules. I owe my entire channel to this champion technically, because that's the video that got traction and that's what started my channel. Without that video, I would not be here. So even though this man has a lot of haters, and some of my channel members, my most loyal channel members, are a part of that hate club, I can never hate this champion. I will always love Hercules because he is the reason why I am here right now making this video. Additionally, he is the most lovable champion in this game, personality-wise. They cooked to the highest level on his motion comic. On every single piece of media that is like from Mcoc that includes Hercules, it is just peak. He is such a good personality, and he is just like he just like brightens the mood with like his personality, man. It's great. But not only that, he is also fun to play. I will admit, he is fun to play. Is he healthy for the game? Probably not, but when you make a champion that good, that's your fault, right? That's not our fault. We can enjoy the champion if we want. It's not our fault that you made a broken character. He is really fun to play. So, yeah. I love Hercules. He's awesome. He's a great champion, obviously. Some say he is still the best champion in the game. But not only that, he is the reason I am here right now playing Mcoc and being an Mcoc YouTuber. So this guy you could honestly argue is number 1, but to play it a bit safe, I'll put him at 7 for now. But now we have a champion that, honestly, this might be the first time in 2024 you see anything posted about Icarus, but he is a champion that I will never forget, even though the rest of the community has forgotten him, because I will always love this champion, and he will probably always be in a top 10 favorite characters video from like me at least. So let's talk about why I like this champion so much. It all stemmed back to when he was first announced, and I was losing my mind for this champion. I was simping for this guy to like an unimaginable level. Like, I was so excited for this character that I was ready to defend him with like every ounce of my body. Like, I was literally just ready to be like the biggest Icarus supporter. And I was so hyped for this champion that when he first came out, I literally bought his bundle while I was in school, in class, and then I took a bathroom break, went to the bathroom, posted like a 30-second video of like 3-star Icarus, uploaded it, and then just went along with my day. And like the rest of the school day, I was just like waiting. I was so impatient. I just like had to play this champion because I was so excited for him, and I loved him. He was so fun to play for me. I really enjoyed Icarus, and I still do enjoy playing Icarus. He's a very fun character. Is he good? Absolutely not, but he is still a very fun champion to play. Animations are beautiful. He has such a cool design, even though like in game, like when you click on him, he has like that weird posture, which is very frustrating. But besides that, his art is beautiful. His just like his costume is great. He's an Eternal, so like he has that cosmic power, which I really do love. If you couldn't tell, like 10 through 6 were all cosmic characters with like very powerful presences like in Marvel. So yeah, he is a cosmic character. He is like a cosmic being, which I love. And you know, usually characters from the cosmos just have like beautiful beam animations or just like really beautiful art, and Icarus is no exception. He just looks great in everything he's like posted in. So yeah, huge fan of Icarus. Just love the look, love the animations, and I was so hyped for this character, and I'll always just maintain that hype for this champion. And I want to see a 7-star, but it's looking very, very unlikely every day that passes. But now we got the top 5, and number 5 is a champion that got my heart so quickly, and it is the Sentry. Now, I've always liked Sentry. I've always been a fan of his playstyle, even pre-buff, and I've always liked the animations because he is a cosmic entity, like, in my eyes at least, right? He's cosmic enough. So he has, like, those cosmic beams, those cosmic powers, that cosmic look that I'm always, like, drawn to. For example, like Icarus, another character later on in this video, like I'm just always drawn to those type of champions, right? It's very obvious, like Null, Hercules, Icarus, all that. He has that look, so I've always been like at least drawn to this champion somewhat. But now he's like really insane. Like he is very, very strong, and he still retained that level of like fun when it comes to playing him. But now he has like actual strength as a champion, and he's like a very, very strong damage dealer in like those Everest content, like Alliance War as well. So yeah, very good champion, one of the strongest, if not just the strongest damage dealer in the game when he's fully decked out. And I feel like sky's the limit with him, and that's why I'm so drawn to him as well, because I love exploring new characters. And this guy, there is just so much to explore with him, and he's just like a character that really fits my archetype for like what I enjoy in a champion, not just like gameplay wise, but look wise as well. He has that cosmic look that I always do like really find myself being drawn to. And yeah, Sentry, very cool champion. And now we have a champion that I think people would have guessed would be like at 2, but we got Howard the Duck at number 4. Now, Howard the Duck is such a cool champion, man. And I'm not like necessarily drawn to like him being a duck, right? Because like that's kind of just whatever for me. Him being a duck, it's like that's kind of cool. But what I like about this champion is just how strong he is in the game. He is one of the most underrated champions in this game. He is incredibly strong, and I feel like he is a top tier type character. And like just like learning that about him and just like crushing the Alliance War map with him, it was so much fun. He's such a fun champion to play, but he's also like comically powerful. So like that's why I really do enjoy this character, just because like his power level for being a literal duck is just absolutely mental. He is just that strong, if you ask me. So yeah, that's like the main reason why I like him. Him being a duck is pretty funny. It's like kind of cool. So like that's another thing. And like the mech suit, also very cool. But also, I am a professional Brian Grant and Seaton superfan. So like I will always enjoy the characters that they do. And Brian Grant and Howard the Duck, they go hand in hand, right? So I was always like a fan of Howard like at the start because Brian Grant liked him. So I was like, yo, let me test out this guy. And then I fell in love myself, and then I was like, oh my god, dude, I just cannot stop playing this champion. And then I took him to rank 3, and I am still just playing him so much because he is one of my most used characters in the entire game, and that's not gonna slow down anytime soon. So yeah, Howard the Duck, such a strong character for being like this meme at first. No, he is a very, very powerful champion. Now at number 3, we have Gladiator. He was my first ever SIG 200 7-star champion, and I put a lot of stones into him to get that achievement. I love Gladiator. He's a very fun champion. He is one of the most fun champions when it comes to playstyles because he has that very unique playstyle of just running into the opponent during the special attack and just like tanking the damage and dealing so much damage back to them. No one else in the game has that mechanic, and that's why he is so unique if you ask me. Additionally, he is a very strong DPS with like the incinerates and like the cold snaps. Very fun to play. He has, you can just guess why I really like him. He has that cosmic identity, right? He has, the big, super strong, the big, super strong appearance. He's like super buff. He has like those cosmic beams. He has the laser eyes. He has the frost breath. I love everything about that. And cosmic characters always have those great animations. His SP2 is an absolute thing of beauty. This man is like, he screams cosmic, right? And I love that, right? Cosmic is obviously my favorite class. Icarus, Hercules, Null, you know, Medusa. It's just like, you can just tell, right? And another thing that puts him above everyone else for me is what this character stands for, right? He's a character that like builds off of confidence, and I've always admired that about him. I think it's a very cool trait for a character to have, because that's not really too common, right? Like at his low, yeah, he's like not good. He is like at his lowest, right? But at that max confidence, he is like a very, very powerful champion. And we kind of saw that with like his pre-buff and post-buff self. Like pre-buff, confidence at the lowest just was not good, was trashed on all the time. Post-buff, now he's appreciated. Now he's Gladiator. Now he's like actually a very strong champion. And like the confidence, I could just tell, was through the roof for post-buff Gladiator. And so yeah, you pair that with like his amazing cosmic style look, his amazing animations, and you just have like this masterpiece of a champion, if you ask me. So Gladiator, easily number 3. And number 2 is Namor. I love water characters. I will always love water characters, and this man was the first water character, so he will always have a special place in my heart. That's really all I have to say, but like, just everything about him, man. The animations, amazing. The water animations are absolutely top tier. For a 2019 champion, they did him so much justice, man. He's still a very good champion, if you ask me. I think that his signature ability is timeless, and like, when I saw Dazzler come out, and like I saw her kit and her sig ability try to copy Namor, it still isn't as good, since Namor can still reflect Power Sting, can still reflect Rock Field, like Dark Tide, like all the energy damage stuff, he can still reflect that while Dazzler can't. And like the direct damage stuff as well, his signature ability is timeless for that reason, because it has no limits. It's just like, as long as you're attacking, you don't take damage, which is just insanely overpowered. And to this day, it is a bit unbalanced for sure, but that's just Namor, man. That's just like who he was always destined to be, and he will always just be that guy for like reflecting all those types of damage sources. But yeah, Namor, peak animations, water character, so gets like 1 billion brownie points, really fun to play, and if you ask me, still a very good champion that really hasn't lost his step. So yeah, big fan of Namor. Number 2, and you can absolutely guess who is number 1. And he's done it again. At number 1, we have, of course, Mole Man. It's never gonna change. It'll always be him at number 1. That is a guarantee. This champion will always be my favorite, right? You've seen me branch out and do different champions, like talk about different characters, like, you know, my Howard arc, my Gladiator arc, my Sentry arc, which is happening right now. But while all that is happening, my favorite is still Mole Man, and that's never gonna change. He is like I am just clinged to him. He is my favorite. Like, that's it. That's just how it is, man. I have never loved the champion as much as I've loved the Mole Man, and that's just like always gonna be like universal, right? Like, even when I don't play him for like a certain amount of time, it's not because like I don't like the champion anymore. It's just like I'm just like testing out other characters, because I know that, yeah, no matter what I do, Mole Man's always going to be the number 1, right? So may as well like see other characters, have some fun with that. But when I'm done with that, who do I go back to? Well, Mole Man, of course, right? Like, he is just the standard for me. So yeah, Mole Man is number 1. Let's talk about why. Well, he's very fun to play. Like, you know, his 2-for-1 type of character design, no one else has it but like Penny Parker, but even hers is kind of fraudulent. So yeah, it's mainly just him, which is very, very cool. Like, playing as both Mole Man and Giganto Jr., it's great. Damage output is absolutely bonkers, really safe to play, like hardly takes damage. One of the craziest damage outputs in the game for shorter fights when he like has the recoil masteries active. Great utility, just great all around champion. He is very, very good still. And yeah, what is most important is Giganto Jr. is the cutest thing in like any source of media, right? And he has competition. He has like Mcoc thing, you know, a lot of other XL characters, but he's just always been the OG. Like, he's just always been like a character that has, of course, like gotten my attention. But yeah, Mole Man, just like everything about him just like lines up, and it lines up in like the best way possible to where, yeah, he is just my undisputed favorite, and that's just like how it's gonna be, man. So yeah, Mole Man wins again, obviously, right? But the top 5 was shaken up a little bit with like Sentry and Howard, but the top 3 I think stayed the same. Gladiator, he will be like an all-time favorite all the time. Namor, same thing. Icarus, man, I love Icarus so much. I wish he was a 7-star. You know, Hercules, always gotta appreciate him for what he's done for me. Same thing with Null, pretty much. Gallon, just too like beautiful animations wise. Medusa, too beautiful just in general and just really fun to play. And you know, like the honorable mentions, like all these characters I just really do like. And I like left out a lot of other characters that I do enjoy as well. Like just like off the top of my head, Sunspot, Warlock, I really do enjoy those champions as well. Yeah, there's just so many, man. There's just so many cool characters in this game, and it was really tough picking 10. That I couldn't even pick 10. I had like 20 honorable mentions, but yeah, really cool. And I think this should be the video that ends the year, because it's a nice little recap of just, you know, who I really like in this game. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on, you know, this top 10. Who is your top 10 favorites? And happy New Year's, and yeah, that's about it for me.